Profanity Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town, yeah.
It's the Profanity Nation.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Profanity Nation podcast, where we are the voice of the professional fan. We've got an outstanding show for you today. We've got an amazing guest in Anthony Henderson. He played several characters, and we're going to get to that in Winning Time, as well as just being a great basketball player and content creator.
Yeah.
But first, as always, let me introduce my co-host, my guy to my right, Money Mike. How you feeling?
Man, it's been some upsets today.
There's been some upsets.
And we got to talk about that.
Some
I'm
Game
good,
7
man.
upsets for sure.
I'm good. We just got to make sure we get them Celtics out somehow.
Right, they're still in the game. They're
Man.
still in the game.
I like Jason Tatum, though. No hate on him.
Yeah, he's a Kobe disciple. That's why we love him. Stat Pat, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Obviously, in Luka, we trust.
Right?
I mean, man, he came through tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Anthony Henderson, thank you for joining us. Let's do a brief introduction. And then, as usual, we always start with a gentleman by the name of Marco Nunez, former athletic trainer for the Lakers, and we go over some injury things. But first, let's give a brief introduction for you so you're not just sitting here. Anthony Henderson, great basketball player. You just recently finished up a wonderful experience, and everybody's talking about the show. HBO's smash hit Winning Time. You played several characters on there. It was your basketball greatness which got you there, if I'm correct.
For sure.
Do you ever have any nagging injuries or anything?
I mean, I think as of late, well, first I want to say thank y'all for having me.
Oh,
yeah,
no problem.
Having
Thank
me
you
for
for
sure.
coming.
But you get into the injuries, dang. I mean, I think as of late, a lot of just not stretching as much, not one probably pulling a few muscles here and there, but nothing serious.
Nothing major. Okay, well, if you do have any questions, now's the time.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and bring him in.
I would tell you, because Marco be having you stretching after you finish striving. So
Yes. Let's go ahead and bring him on right now. The professional athletic trainer, our boy, our guy, Marco Nunez. Let's bring him on. Hey, Marco, how you doing?
Hey.
Doing well. How you guys doing?
Man, we good, man. We good. Hey, so I wanted to ask you this last week, but of course it was Mother's Day, so we didn't have a chance to. I wanted to kind of go over that John Morant injury. And we're going to play a video for you. We're going to do a little different because I'm going to give you my uneducated, unmedical degree opinion on it.
From the fan point of view,
From
which
a
is
fan
what we
point of view. Because I looked at it, you know how they've been playing it over and over and over again. I'm going to tell you where I thought he got hurt, and then you tell me your professional opinion of it. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. So we're gonna play it right now. So we got John Morant going in there, and right when he extends his leg, right where is it? Not that part. Back up a little bit. Right before he goes, he extends his leg further, and then he bends up, and then they bump knees. I think that's where the injury happened.
Right there.
Right
the
there.
bump knees.
Right.
Okay.
I think that tug on that knee did nothing. Now I think that they're using that and trying to say 30 plays of showmanship. But I believe before he put on his knee, when he planted it and extended from that point, that's when he got the knee bruise. Now, what's your opinion on that?
Correct. So when we're looking at the knee bruise, most likely what happened is when, just like you mentioned, is when he loaded that knee and he created that motion. It wasn't on the push-up, it was more on the landing. Now, the impact by that opponent, he kind of pushed his knees, which made his knee kind of change direction. That's also very common. So I think that's probably when the bone bruise kind of happened. He landed, he planted, the forces came in, that the knee from the opposing player came in, which kind of changed the direction of the knee. And that's probably most like when the bone bruise kind of was created.
Right. Okay, cool. So you agree with me that the little hand tug thing, I don't think personally, like if you're in a heated battle, and we'll ask Anthony more about that. Like, I think that's just something that kind of happened. Like, you're not going to say, oh, here's my opportunity to go. I think everything is so bang, bang, so fast that there's no way that he could have done it intentionally.
Correct. That was just an unintentional bump. That was, you can tell he was trying to gain position also to try to kind of stop Jay from kind of moving and also help trying to make him change direction. I don't see that as anywhere near being intentional whatsoever. Plus, they're moving so fast that the odds of you like, you know what? Oh, now I'm gonna jump in right now. Now I'm gonna hit him with me. By the time you realize that and you try to make that move, he's already gone. There's no it's that quick.
Is my memory serving me right, Marco? Was the Steve Nash injury when he was on the Lakers similar? Was a knee to the back there or something like that?
Right. There was something very similar to that. I think he kind of butt knees to try to change direction. He stopped. He kind of trying to pivot, and somebody else came. Almost very identical. You're right. Very identical to what you saw right now.
Okay, that's what I thought. That was very reminiscent. Hopefully, Jaw's back quicker because Nash didn't really make it.
Well, Jaw's way younger.
I was gonna say, well, Steve Nash about 30.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah,
there
Steve,
too.
Steve Nash unfortunately was older. He was towards. I think he came and joined us for like 1 year or 2 years, just to kind of maybe give a last kind of hoorah, see what he can do. Jay Moran, on the other hand, is different. He's a lot younger.
It's retirement for Steve Nash right there on the Lakers. That was retirement, little going away there. Like, you know,
that was all the Lakers
help you move out to Southern
Lakers
California.
Have beat me bad all these years, so now I'm going to take some money.
Okay,
that's what that was. I don't know. I'm just going to be honest.
So one more thing to that. So I mean, you know, the bone bruise, we know typically there was there's not really a whole lot you could do to try to get him to play. Obviously, he wasn't able to. It just rest is the only thing that would really help that.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, there's a few medication stuff like that you could probably take out there, but nothing's out there proven. Like I said, the bone bruises, unfortunately, are very, very unpredictable. I mean, some athletes come back in a couple of days. Some athletes takes a couple of months, just like we saw this past season with the Lakers with Nunn. I mean, he had the bone bruise, I think, occurred during preseason, and he never really returned to play this whole entire year. I think, Embiid had one last year during the playoffs. He was out for about 2 weeks, something like that, came back. So that's the one thing about the location of the bone bruise on the knee. Is it a weight-bearing area? The position of the player, how much pivoting, how much turning. So there's a lot of factors that go into determining when the player comes back, and severity of the bone bruise, all that stuff. So like I said, it's hard to put a timeline on these bone bruises. It's super difficult, and even if someone does, it's still kind of you're like, it becomes a guessing game.
All right, I want to go to this Phoenix game real quick. With Booker, because we know that he had like I think it was a grade 1 hamstring, and then now he played like crap. You know what I mean? He had like there was like Booker 0-4. He was horrible. He played a horrible game. Yeah. I get that, but back in my mind, I was like, wait a minute, this dude literally had a hamstring injury about a week and a half ago. You know, that probably is one of the main reasons why they were able to shut him down, quote unquote, double team him, not allow him to get in the rhythm, probably because his hamstring was probably still bothering him.
It a little
right,
bit.
Yeah. That's my opinion. What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, when it comes to an explosive sport, whether it's basketball, whether it's track, or anything of that sort, your hamstring muscle is your main power source as far as to kind of take off and stop and go and change direction. Once you've injured it, and he came back pretty quick. I would be very surprised if his hamstring was fully healed. He probably got to the point, this feels okay. It's a playoff. I can kind of go. And that's the thing about the playoffs. You don't really have time to wait to kind of fully heal. So when he came back, obviously his game had to change a little bit. He couldn't do the same exact thing that he was able to do prior to the injury. Now, like I said, sometimes the question, comes down to, hey, I'm 7% Michael Jordan, and you're willing to take him over the player. Same thing with Devin Booker. I mean, I'm willing to take Devin Booker at about 80-85% healthy and get him out there on the court. God forbid anything else happens, anything worse. But yeah, it changes your dynamics. It changes how you play. And at the end of the day, it's also in the back of your mind. You're wondering, am I going to re-tear this? Am I going to aggravate it again? If I do this one move that I'm so used to, you know what? I'm not going to do it this time, because if I do it, I may re-aggravate it. So his game changed.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense.
Cool.
Makes sense. Any questions?
Yeah,
You're all good? No nagging injuries yet?
No, I got one question.
There you go.
What's up?
So I kind of heard a couple people say this, but I don't know how true it is. When stretching before you work out, is it important to try to get like a sweat before you start stretching? I heard like stretching, just like walking in the gym and start stretching, isn't the best for you. But
Correct.
What kind of things would do to not pull anything before I start stretching?
Correct. So there's been plenty of research done on. So there's two types of stretches that most athletes or weekend warriors do. One's called a passive stretch, meaning you kind of the tradition you get down on the floor, you touch your hamstrings. You pull your calves type of thing, you do your quad type of thing. And then the other one's referred to as an active stretch, where you actually get up and you're moving. You do like high knees, butt kickers, reverse hurdles, anything of that sort. So all the research states that before activity as an athlete, you want to do more than an active stretch. Don't stay on the floor. Get up and move. Like you said, get that blood flowing. So when you're done with your active stretch, and this is what I do with all athletes, you basically have to have like a little kind of glistening, just a little bit of sweat kind of going down your forehead type of thing. Your heart rate should be up. That's the type of thing that kind of activity that you want to do, because you want to get the blood flowing through the muscles. The passive stretch, that's when you leave at the end of the activity, once you kind of go down there and kind of cool down. But for athletes, you want to do an active stretch where you get up and move. That's ideal. There's been plenty of research done. It helps your performance, and it helps get you out there on the field.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Makes sense.
Perfect. Step Pat, you good?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
All right, Marco, we're gonna let you go. Thank you.
His wrist is healed, right?
Yeah, his wrist is good.
Oh no, I'm pinky can go up a little bit.
Your pinky's a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks again for that info. You really had the
pinky. So you got the little pinky. Now you can go have some tea.
Yeah, I can still do it, but it's a little twisted, but we're working with it.
All right, sounds good.
Will you please let everybody know who's watching the best way to keep up to date with what you've got going on?
Yeah, if you guys ever have any questions regarding sports injuries, recovery, nutrition, strength and conditioning, feel free to DM me on my Instagram at MarcoA17. And also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Evolve Athletic Performance.
That's it. Thank you so much, Marco.
Appreciate
we'll see
Marco.
you next week.
No problem. Sounds good. Take care.
Bro. Take care.
All right, guys. That was great. Marco's always wonderful, but let's get to some fun.
Definitely.
We're ready to get started. Okay, so a quick reintroduction. Yeah, I'm excited too. Okay, so we've got Anthony Henderson. Anthony, thank you for joining the Profanity Nation podcast. We really appreciate it. I got a hold of Anthony through Facebook and the Winning Time Facebook group, actually. Yep. And he was kind enough to share some photos and things like that. We've got a frozen camera here. There we go. He was kind enough to share photos and some behind the scenes things, which I think was actually, everyone really appreciated, because you get some good results there.
Yeah.
So I reached out, and as you know, we've actually been doing some series on Winning Time. Because we are Lakers centric here. This is a Lakers show. You're a Lakers fan.
I love it.
Some of our shows, we go behind the scenes. We've actually interviewed some former broadcasters. One gentleman in particular, Roy Firestone, was a guest of the show. And, he was front and center when Magic announced that he had HIV in the press conference. He was there when they drafted Magic. He was there when they did the coin flip.
Oh, wow.
So we had him on. We've talked to him. He's been on the show a couple of times. So we've tried to get to the bottom of, first of all, we love the show.
Yeah.
Let's just say everyone out there is saying it's the best show that they've seen in years. I personally do not watch a lot of TV, and it was incredible. We loved it.
Jeff got his girlfriend watching.
My girlfriend loves it. She actually loved it. Yeah. So you guys
like basketball though? Yeah,
no,
that's crazy.
No,
I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. People that don't like basketball still enjoy this show.
Rodney Barnes was the writer. What Rodney did there was absolutely amazing. Sure. And then the way they shot it, the cinematography, it's just so fun. But all you guys, it looks like it was a fun experience. Was it a great experience on set?
It was a blast. I was definitely happy to be a part of that. So we had a blast on set.
All right, let's start with how you kind of fell into Winning Time, and then we'll regress and go back to kind of where you started yourself. Okay. But you were saying at some point, we talked a little bit. Tell us a little bit how you even heard or caught wind that they were casting for a show.
Yeah, so maybe it was 2019, which is crazy. That's 3 years ago. That's crazy. But yeah, I was like kind of just out here, making my way, trying to figure things out. And a guy that was on, shout out to Noel, I'm going to say his name. Shout out to Noel. He was the stunt double for Spencer James in All-American. So yeah, he kind of knew, he was in the industry a little bit, and he got a hold of this email where they were looking for basketball players. And at this time, no one had any clue what Winning Time or if it's going to be Showtime. It was just this Untitled Lakers project, like this show that was coming out. And he was just like, bro, I'm not a football guy. I'm not a basketball. I'm a football guy. So here's this basketball email that I got. So go to this audition, just go pull up. And that's what I did. I went and pulled up. It was like a 5-minute audition. And he just told them run up and down the court. They already knew what they were looking for as far as the arms and physique or whatever. So I walked in there, and they ended up calling me back. And 3 years later, I'm here to talk about it.
5 minutes, huh?
Yeah, that's all it was. It was all it was.
You know what's dope about that though is like you fit when you walked in before you even ran. They already knew you was there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy to say that because I actually had a pulled muscle. I think I had pulled a muscle like 2 days before the audition. That's why I asked the guy that question. But yeah, I walked in. I could barely even run. Like I was struggling, but I was like, I can't miss this audition.
Right.
I can't.
Right,
I can't. So I walked in, tried to run, tried my best to do these layups, and I told the guy, his name was Adon. I told him, I'm like, I tried to give it a go, but I can't. Like I really tried. I really wanted to be on this show. He just looked at me and was like, "Hey, when you walked in this gym, I was already gonna pick you. You good? Just go heal up your leg and you'll be good." So I was like, "All right, bet." That's how it happened.
Hey man,
Nice.
look at God.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
No, for real though. I mean, that's amazing.
I thought it was over for me. I thought it was over. Like,
yeah, but he told you, "Hey, no, you good."
Yeah, they had a type where they knew exactly when
like,
you came there. They say, okay, like the build and everything, and if he can just go ahead and just show any kind of athletic ability,
right.
We'll work out with the rest, and you can heal up. You know, obviously before they started production. Yeah, so.
But let me ask you this though. I mean, because you played what 12 different players.
12 different.
You know what I mean? And, you know, I know it was Norm Nixon and Archibald, right? And I don't know all 12.
Roby Free. That was like the other one, but yeah.
So let me ask you though, because see,
here we go. We got let me read this out.
Okay,
It deserves to be read out.
We
got Tiny Archibald. We got Earl Monroe. Downtown Freddie Brown. You played Norm Nixon. You were the double for Norm Nixon. Ricky Sobers, Walter Davis, Ron Boone, World Be Free, Jim Brewer, Ron Brewer, and you were a random UNLV player.
Random UNLV.
That is 12.
That's dope. That's
12
it.
right there.
That's
when you got all listed there, man, that's crazy, right?
I love it.
And you looked awesome in all of them, right?
Thank you.
That was fun.
Yeah. So, but let me ask you though, like, what's the real difference though? Like, because you're acting like you're playing basketball versus playing basketball. You know what I mean? Because that's to me, like, how do you do that? Because I'm competitive. I want to win all the time, but they want you to miss a layup sometime, probably, or want you. You know, what's that feeling?
It's just a mindset. You know, it's like I can't use the same mindset that I had when I was actually playing. You know, I'm a competitive guy too. I'm very competitive, but you know, on set, you got a job to do. You got a job. This is what you're supposed to do. We've rehearsed this scene for 2 weeks or for a week or however long we rehearsed it. So when we go in there and you know the cameras is on, like the competitive nature in me is to get this scene right, to get what they want me to do right. That's the competitive part. So just making sure, you know, we play on the side when the cameras wasn't going, show who was really good.
He had a chance because you did make a post. I saw it. And it was a video of Magic. He's like, "Oops, Magic got me again."
Oh yeah, again.
And it was from the show. And he's like, "Oh, you got me again."
Got me twice. Got me as Ricky Sobers, and he got me as who was the other guy? He got me as I forget who the other guy was, but he got me.
Yeah, but you didn't get dunked on though. They was gonna say, "All right, dog, we about to dunk on you tonight." And then we got like, what if it was like 3 or 4? You know, they had to get the scene right. You got to fall every time. That would have been hard.
That's part of the set life, man. It would have been hard, but hey, I'm here for a reason.
I'm just asking.
The dude that played Landsberger.
Oh yeah,
he's the one that got dunked.
Austin. That's my guy. That's my guy.
No, Austin got dunked on for real. He had to take that.
So but look, because like I said, we real. You happy you wasn't him though, right? You didn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm not because you get stunt contracts if you get dunked.
Oh, okay.
You can dunk on me, man.
That's a different deal.
I mean, you're gonna get laughed at by your friends. You might come on here, y'all might laugh at me, but hey.
But he's like, you're right.
You're right. Hey, this gonna be shown like 10 years from now. That was me.
You're right.
I mean, look, I'm just wondering. Like I said, I'm kind of crazy, man. So don't mind me. I'm gonna let them ask you the rest.
No, you're good.
Well, I have a question. You brought up a name. The gentleman that you did your audition for, Adon.
Adon, yeah.
If I'm right, Adon was a coach for the basketball, teaching the nuances on how to perfect how to be a certain player. Correct.
Exactly. Yep.
I'm really interested in what that was like because he actually taught Solomon, the gentleman who played Kareem. He'll be on the 29th. He'll be on the show. Yeah.
Shout out to Solomon.
So Solomon, he was going to be on, guys. But I'm really interested because that is, you know, that's particularly, you know, I mean, the Kareem skyhook, they even made it a huge part of the show. So what was that like and what was his attention to detail like in working with him?
He was, shout out to Adon. He's super great guy. But his attention to detail was on the same level, or if not more, as some of my college coaches, you know, in the sense of he wanted to be exactly right. Not even just on the set days, even in rehearsal. It was like, we need to get this exactly right. And I mean, I think that comes because he's a pretty great trainer. You know, I think he trained Gilbert Arenas, Steph Curry, a couple other guys, which I didn't even know until kind of after the fact. But it made sense. It made sense that, he was responsible for working out with them, and you seen how he was on set. So he did a great job helping us out, and kind of made it easy for us when it was time to get in them cameras, because the way he wanted us to be in the rehearsals was like when it was time to get on set, it was
prepped.
That's how it's supposed to be, though. The practice will be harder than the actual game.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Practice
so if he
doesn't
did
make
that,
perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Right?
Exactly.
I think that's a LeBron.
Yeah, well,
I ain't hating.
Yeah, I ain't hating. Ain't nothing perfect about this dude other than he perfectly destroys teams. That's
man.
He's not a huge LeBron.
I heard.
Yeah,
even with the 4 rings he got.
Man, listen, I mean,
one for the Lakers.
Well, look, the one with the Lakers, man. Look, I look, I'm an avid Laker fan. And when Karl Malone came into, I hated Karl Malone. I hated him. I don't hate LeBron like I hate Karl Malone.
Yeah.
But when Karl Malone came to the Lakers, I had to root for him because he was on Lakers.
Got to.
Right. So I went on record and was like, LeBron James, I want to thank you very much for getting us the opportunity to match the Celtics. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And then I went on to talk about, all the things that he's doing that I don't like.
Okay. See, the difference between Karl Malone and LeBron James, like Karl Malone came in and knowing that he just had to play third guy, fourth guy. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't going to try to be the face of the franchise because it's still Shaq and Kobe. Versus LeBron James coming in here and he's the man and he's the face of the franchise. That hate might get magnified because this a lot of people maybe didn't like him, especially a lot of Kobe fans, because we see how they just basically pass over Kobe. And when they talk about LeBron James' legacy, Kobe Bryant is sitting right there, and they're gonna say the heir apparent to Michael Jordan is LeBron, and Kobe's right there with more championships, and is having the game and the mentality and everything. But
forgive me, you're a player. Obviously you're a player, but every player admires and kind of looks up to other players and patterns their game. You're young enough. Who would you say you patterned your game after?
That's crazy because I don't really feel like I pattern my game after one. If I had to pick somebody,
Or
it would be Kobe. It would be Kobe. Just the mindset, or I think just kind of idolizing his mindset was something that kind of made me a big Kobe guy. Just the way he kind of carried himself, kind of the way he just played on the court, his work ethic, everything like that was kind of what I admired more than anything. And I tried to play, as close as Kobe as I could,
of course, right?
But I can't really say I actually tried to pattern my actual game. Maybe the couple pull-ups here and there, but definitely the mentality though is something I definitely got from Kobe.
My point here is it too soon? But should young players, I don't ever hear young players coming out of college saying they're patterning their game or learning from LeBron.
Because you have to be a physical freak.
For sure.
You have to be that guy.
Players talk about how Kobe influences. I don't hear players saying LeBron, and he's been around 20 years.
Well, no, yeah, but what makes LeBron is because he was just a specimen, and he was just physically imposing on the defense, and so you have to be. That's why Zion was kind of getting when he was getting that buzz. It was like, oh, he's kind of like Baby Shaq. He's just physically, more. Than any other player around there, his aggression, he's playing the game differently, you know what I'm saying? And we don't have anybody like that can say that. And, you have like Edwards, the guy from Anthony Edwards from Minnesota.
Absolutely.
That's
my
bad
dude.
Player now. That's my favorite
bad
player.
Dude.
Since Kobe,
has the whole, he has that it factor. He's ready to go ahead. It's just like how John Morant is. He's we ready. We don't care where we're at. We're going to just take this where we're at and we're going to elevate it. And you're going to want to come here. You're going to want to know us. And that's where you see the mentality of these different players. And you're like, okay, you see the ones that are sticking out. That's why I didn't really believe in Devin Booker. That's why all that Kobe comparisons was that was slow that down. He's not Kobe, And so when you see Kobe and excuse me, Mr. Henderson was saying, it's, when you talk about the mentality, that's something that kids can get behind. The Kobe mentality. That's a work ethic that everybody can still get behind. trying to be physically imposing over people. That's not going to happen.
So it's maybe you'll agree, Mike. It's less LeBron's play. It's more his physique because I mean, kids everywhere are copying Steph Curry.
Look, we saw
everywhere shooting up from half court.
And that's because he's every man. He's every person. You know what I'm saying? He's like that's relatable. That's relatable.
Relatable. Okay.
I mean, look.
That makes sense.
The Shaq Diesel thing.
Pat.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can't do that.
We shouldn't be talking about LeBron this much. Getting this much
Move on. We're going to get into NBA playoffs real soon.
I would say this. I think it was about 8 years of LeBron James running down and everybody moving out the way.
Yeah.
I'm right. I mean, literally, like, then they're like, oh my God. Nobody wanted to.
Because it was going to hurt.
So what you think
it was going to hurt.
You know what? I'm going to tell you. Giannis, when he was in that bubble, and I was giving Giannis everything. They'll tell you.
Yeah.
Because when Jimmy Butler was over there and they said, hey, what's up? You going to guard Jimmy? And he said, the coach didn't tell me to. Dog, you MVP and you defensive player of the year. And the coach didn't tell you to. So that's why you're not going over to guard the guy that's beating you. Like, dog, I was so done on Giannis. He was nothing to me. He literally was nothing to me. But that following year when he got the championship and you saw that light switch. You know what I mean? You saw like this dude say, look, I'm about to go take over this game and can't nobody stop me. That's when he got my respect again. Because I saw the change. Mm-hmm. But in the bubble, no, I wouldn't Giannis nowhere near my team. Because, I'm hard over talent. You know what I mean? I need somebody that's going to go and be there, with your heart, your determination, way above talent for me. You know what I mean? That's just how I roll.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
All right, let's continue this talk with NBA playoffs here really quick, because since we're getting there, you talked about Giannis. Giannis was eliminated today by the Boston Celtics. Okay, first of all, let's just say this. I'm going to get this out. This is a Lakers-centric show. The Laker fans, we love to hate Boston, and it goes deep, and we always will. But there's just nobody I hate on this Boston team. There's no bad guy. I like Tatum. We call them Kobe disciple. Booker's a Kobe disciple, but they're these people who believe in Kobe, pattern again about. What do you think about the Celtics?
They're good, but I think Marcus Smart is that guy on that team.
Marcus
you could probably hate if you had to hate somebody. But I love Marcus Smart. I love his game. I love the way the energy he brings to the game. But the Celtics team, I honestly had Milwaukee winning. I'm actually surprised that they with Chris Middleton getting hurt. I knew it would be tough.
That was hard.
But with Middleton out there, I would have had Milwaukee. But Boston, you can't take nothing from them. They've been killing it all year, especially I think after the All-Star break or something, they've been playing crazy. So, I mean, hey, they playing hot. They can be anybody right now. Yeah,
I love heartbeats of teams. Like Marcus Smart is the heartbeat of the Celtics.
Okay.
Right? Draymond Green is the heartbeat of the Warriors. Like they don't, when Draymond not there and not imposing the personality of the team, then that's when they're not as good. Now we know what Clay and Curry and Wiggins, all of them do, but you have to, you have to will the team to be a certain way, have a different mentality, about it. So, man, Tatum, I hate that I like him.
Just because he's a Celtic.
You know what I mean?
Just because he's a Celtic.
Yeah, because you see it like this dude right here. You see it in his eyes. You see his determination. You see that he knows that he's great and he knows that he can take it over and he's not afraid of nothing. I just hate that's the Celtics.
That's the Celtics.
It's funny because when you see Tatum and it's like you can see it all in him. Like you can see the Kobe. You can see it. Like it just when you watch him play and the way he approaches the game, it's like Kobe. Like he's like, okay, well, game 6.
How can you knock him when he's in Celtic jerseys wearing Kobe stuff?
I know, and I understand that.
I mean, he's crossing.
You know why?
Over.
I didn't think about
How
that.
can we not?
You know why?
This is weird.
You know why?
We can't have likable Celtics.
Because he's in the Celtics shirt.
Yeah, dude. Likable Celtics.
But
that's weird.
That really is the problem with this league now. Like there is no there is no hate. Like I want, like we back in the day hated the Celtics.
Yes.
And like on and off the
As
court.
you saw in winning time.
Right.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like it was
That
it was a
is
real thing.
real right
These,
there.
these cats over there hanging out. Oh, you live there, dog? Oh, cool. Well, I'm over here in Dubai. Won't you fly over here and hang out? No.
In the Austin,
We don't
they're all
do that.
friends.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a whole mentality now that makes it. But I remember they turned the air conditioning off. You know, I remember the fans going out there rattling the pots and the pans, waking up the Laker players
In the
so that they'd be asleep. I remember them turning the AC off, you know, making it hot, turning the hot. You know what I mean? Like, I remember that, and I feel that, and I'm not forgetting that.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, Archibald, Airback, I watched that. Smoking cigars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was crazy to me too. Like back in the day, he was smoking cigars.
Oh, he was-
They
he
were
was-
Yeah,
doing
right there
that
on
on
the
set.
floor.
I'm
On
like,
the-
why is they smoking these cigarettes?
Yeah,
You know, like, 'cause
but-
that was real life.
That's
Like,
real
Well,
life.
you know,
On the court.
A sign of the times. I'm just gonna throw
On
it
the
out
court.
there. My mom
Right.
has a picture on the day I was born where she's holding me in the hospital bed with a cigarette right there. And I go, yeah, in the hospital
Yes,
bed. That's how
dope.
in the hospital.
Okay.
Dope.
So that's just how that
That's how it
shit
was.
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what, though? That's
No
what I'm
seatbelts or car seats on the way home. You know,
Oh,
you just mom just held you
hey,
in the hand.
hey, for real.
And
Hey,
we all
for real,
lived
for real.
somehow.
Like,
No
I used to-
helmets, no nothing.
We
I
made
used to
it.
ride in the back of the pickup truck. We was going to routes.
Yes.
We going to routes.
Sit in the
We
wheel
ride in
well.
the back of the pickup truck, bouncing up and
Yep.
down.
Sit in the wheel. Sit right on the
you're
wheel.
literally going to jail right now. Like
Yeah,
they are
yeah.
pulling you over,
Dude.
and
They'll
you're
take your
going to
kids
jail
away.
for child endangerment.
Oh, my
and
God.
it's probably a felony.
And I was
right.
I remember on the freeway.
Yeah.
On the freeway in the back, just my dad said, "Don't sit on the wheel. Just sit on the put the back against the back."
Yeah,
and
that was it.
we on the freeway. We just look at the cars and we just in open air.
I mean,
Just-
nowadays you
Just-
cringe if you see a dog back there on the freeway.
Man.
Back
Bro.
then it was the kid.
Right.
It's wild.
Yeah.
But-
so,
but, you
sign
know,
of the times. right?
That's a good segue though, because you're obviously younger than us, right? So what did you learn about, you know, the history of the Lakers and the Celtics? Because you literally they were, you know, you obviously were in it, but you saw other scenes and things that are going on. Were you like, dang, were they really doing that? Is that real? Like,
Yeah, I think the main thing was probably the Spencer Haywood situation. And
yeah.
how they said he was like doing drugs and all this stuff like in
Yeah.
the locker room, like, and then trying to come out and still play the same. Like, I mean, I highly doubt people doing that now. Like, it was kind of
Yeah, it's
crazy
only
to see.
weed now.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But just like I think, and even too, like, because we started filming was straight 1979, 80. So it was kind of cool to see how right before that they were talking how the NBA was in trouble.
Yeah.
It was like, we need something. We need something to kind of help this league, you know, do something, because Dr. J not doing it. Like, Dr. J is a great player, but he's not bringing in Kareem.
It wasn't
they're not
even
bringing
live
in-
though. Those games weren't even live.
Exactly, yeah. So to see that, like, Larry Bird and Magic come in, and now it's like, you know, then Jordan comes and kind of does his thing. It's kind of cool to see, how the NBA is now and where it was at, you know, in 1980. It was definitely something super.
Yeah,
cool to see.
David Stern definitely was a visionary for the
Yeah,
league.
yeah.
Mhm.
You know, like when he kind of took it over like in the early 80s, he realized that he could highlight players.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then obviously Nike came in and then started doing, you know, highlighting
Well,
players.
first Converse.
Well, Converse tried.
That was crazy too. The
That
whole
and the
Magic
5 foot,
situation.
yeah.
I love what you're saying.
Yeah, see, we all learned. That's what's awesome is that we
Yeah.
all learned something just watching the show.
Uh-huh.
I'm curious, you know, you're saying, did you learn something? But did you learn it? I'm assuming you watched the show as well.
Mhm.
You had fun. But were you learning on the set or just doing your job and then learn more watching it? Because you
I
were there
learned
for,
way more watching.
yeah, right,
Way
with
more
us,
watching.
right,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Okay,
because for
perfect.
me it was just because I wasn't like acting, you know, doing the actual acting scene. I was straight basketball, the basketball scene. So everything that we did was more or less, let's just do these scenes and, you know, we're gonna do that. So watching the actual show once it came out, it was like a whole nother thing for me. It's like I was
Yeah.
kind of watching a whole new show, and then the basketball stuff was what I saw.
Oh, yo, this is my part.
Right. But I'm watching the show like in tune like everybody else, and yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah, we learned a ton. What was it like with the cast? Like Quincy Isaiah was amazing. Solomon Hughes, Dr. Solomon Hughes,
Yep,
I
yep,
believe it
yep.
is. And then Spencer Garrett playing Chick Hearn. I mean, Adrian Brody. I mean, the casting is just absolutely
Yeah.
outrageous here. I'm sure they were all fun and everything, but you could tell us, dude. How much better at basketball are you than Quincy and Solomon? And you know, I mean, they got the roles.
We won't tell nobody.
Nah, it was we had some battles. We had some battles.
Really? Okay.
But, I mean, that's what I do. It's what I've been doing my whole life. Like the same way they took acting is the same way I take basketball. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of my thing. So I mean, they knew it. They knew that I could play, so they didn't really try to play me one-on-one or nothing like that. Like I'm not gonna try to out-act them or anything like that. But we have fun on set. They definitely got better. Throughout the set, throughout the whole season, probably 4 or 5 months into the season, you can see them getting better. You can see them kind of falling in love with their roles. Actually seeing Quincy out there, actually looking like Matt. Like, okay, that was an actual good play right there, Solomon. I actually think I had a conversation with Solomon. He said that he's been working on his hook shot, that Kareem hook shot, for like 3 years, 4 years. Like once he found out he got the role, or maybe had a chance on getting the role, he was working on that hook shot. So he really take that serious. And him and Don kind of mastered it. So
they did absolutely mastered it. That's one of the most interesting parts. Is again, the story's great. They sensationalized a little bit. It's fun, but you have to get the players correct. You have to get at least their play down, and the plays, especially the famous play.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right. The fact that when he goes up and he looks just like, because when Kareem was doing it back in the day, like we saw the whole thing, especially it looked beautiful in slow mo. In slow mo, he would just come out of the sand, and you just looking at fools, it's like try to block it. There's no way, and he just like whop, just every time, and to see that same motion through him, Solomon just had it down pat, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of that. What you were talking about earlier, that attention to detail.
And I'm gonna give you a little nugget. You know why Kareem started doing the shot?
Why is that?
Because they outlawed dunking.
That's crazy.
So
I didn't know that.
So because of him. Because of him. So they were like, you can't dunk anymore.
Can't dunk.
He's like, okay, cool. Well, I'm about to give you a shot that you ain't never
still
gonna see before.
Exactly.
It's like a dunk.
That's what the best is.
Right.
Kobe injured his right, started shooting with his left. Forget it. I'm still playing.
So that's a little history about how that got started. Yeah. So, but see, that's why I said we look at it from a perspective, and that's what's great about this show, because it's so timeless. Because everybody enjoyed it for different reasons.
Yeah.
Right? Because we look at it like we were there. Like we were little kids and wanted to be in the Forum Club because we knew it was cracking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We knew it was cracking. And then you actually are kind of in there like, oh, dang, were they really doing that? You know what I mean? So, and then, his girl just watching a really, really good show that has great acting and has great production. So that's why we think it's funny when people say, oh my God, I don't like it. I'm mad, or I can't believe they portrayed me like this. And they probably never looked at it. And I'm like, dude, this is a great, whether if it's true or not, it can be fiction, non-fiction. Right. This is a great production, top to bottom.
Every time Jerry West opens his mouth, he looks more and more like that character.
That's it. That's the problem.
I was saying.
It's a total catch-22.
It's like, bro, be quiet,
if you've been playing, you're gonna look.
You look just like that dude right now, dude. Calm down.
Like the show is making sense now.
Yeah, it's like I see that.
Right.
Everyone's like, I see that. Okay,
you're absolutely right. And the one thing that we did for sure discover out of the characters, we know this. We know that you brought up Spencer Hayward. Spencer Hayward has come out and said that as far as he's concerned, his character is portrayed 100% perfectly.
That was
that's,
which
that's
is funny.
scary.
Which is funny.
He's like
scary.
But that's amazing though.
But
But I mean, isn't that cool? I mean,
he said, y'all know all of it.
He's like, they didn't tell you this, so I'm gonna I'll sit happy with what
I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean,
it actually made me look good.
Cop to a nicer plea.
You know what's good?
I didn't do that. I did it
right there.
Yeah,
Boom,
exactly.
perfect.
I mean, but that's what's so crazy about it though, because and I was telling them like off air, I said I think really the ones that's complaining about it are upset that they weren't a part of it.
They weren't a part of it.
You know what I mean? Because see, all of a sudden now, because see, there was a tweet like a couple of days ago when they asked Jeannie Buss, hey, did this really happen? And there was a scene when Jerry Buss was talking to Magic, talking about, hey, me and you, it's gonna be me and you, and we about to make something that ain't never been seen before. And he said, well, you know how I feel about the show, but yes, this is true. Like, dog, what are you talking about?
By the way, and then she says, if you really want to know the truth, our show comes out on Hulu in the next one. So it's a plug.
It's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. They want to make their money their way, and I don't know if they're making money off ours.
They making money, man.
I don't think they are.
So it's like
look.
That's crazy.
But Jeannie ends up looking really good in this show.
So she's
really,
the brains.
really good. The other person, so Spencer, supposedly he says it, was pretty true. And then the other character that comes out looking like, forgive my Spanish here, an asshole, would be Chick and Chick Hearn.
Oh yeah.
And we have confirmed that he was indeed that guy.
Yeah.
I was disappointed, man.
Yeah, because
I wouldn't expected that.
he was, and I think I can quote or paraphrase. Roy Firestone simply said, "Yes, you did not cross Chick, and if you did, you paid dearly for it." And that was that. And the show, I think, so it would appear that the two of the most outlandish, are saying, no, everyone's saying, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
The only one that isn't is Jerry West, which, if it's correct, you would have expected it from him. If
you know what I'm saying? Like,
so that's the irony.
Right.
Shout out to Spencer Garrett though. That's who played Chick Hearn.
Yeah. We're gonna have Spencer. He's in New York right now, so we talked to Spencer as well. So we plan. To
we love him, dude. He's.
We're gonna keep running.
Look, we've been trying to dissect this show because it's so great.
Yeah.
And we literally are reliving it.
And everyone
again.
loves it.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah,
So and it's only 10 episodes. However, they have confirmed season 2. Originally speaking, we thought that season 2 was going to be starting with the Kobe and Shaq. However, they are going to continue, I hear, with the Magic Kareem and Pat Riley dynasty. Do you have any information you can share, or?
I don't have any. I don't even know. Like, I really have no idea. I would hope, that they don't go all the way to Kobe and Shaq just yet.
I don't want to.
Not yet. Eventually, we should get there, but not yet. Kind of keep going into this whole dynasty because they've won 5 championships.
You got 5
in the 80s, right?
seasons at least.
Yeah.
Each season is a championship.
Yeah.
You can fast forward, and then you do the
Yeah.
championship season. Every time it's winning time for God's
This
sake.
doesn't
That's
end until Magic announces.
Yeah,
That's
another
where it started.
That's where it started.
That's where it will end.
Oh yeah,
And
right
not
there.
until that scene.
So we gotta get there.
Right.
We gotta get
they
there.
didn't win it the next year, but the following year the Lakers won, right?
What?
So they
in
won.
So
Magic's
80.
rookie year.
So 80
They
we
gonna snap
win.
back.
80 we win. 81 the Celtics win. So that's how crazy it was because the Celtics came back and like Larry Bird's like, no, I'm not letting that ride.
And that's when
So
Magic
then Magic gets hurt.
got
West had
Westhead
fired because he was out.
Yeah, they got to get into all that.
So,
They
yeah.
can't
So,
just go straight to
And
Kobe.
And then the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
year, I think in 82, we lose because that's when Dr. J gets his championship. 83, we win.
Okay.
In 83, we come back and win. And then 84, it was the showdown. It actually was a showdown between
I'm mad.
Boston.
I hate 84.
That was the first time right there.
That was the showdown, finally.
Okay.
Magic.
And then we lose. 85, we win. 86, Samson shot. You'll know if you know about it. We lost this weird game. It got eliminated by this slug shot. And then we play the Celtics again in 87, and then 88, the Pistons. And that's how we won. That was our 5 championships.
Okay.
We won in 88. And we lose in 89, and then 90 was just like, I don't even know what the hell happened in 90. Do we know what the hell happened in 90?
Michael Jordan.
I know we lost. We lost to the Phoenix Suns 4-1 in the second round.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. It was horrible.
And then the next year we go to the championship and play the Bulls.
Right. And we would have beat. Listen, I truly believe we would have beat the Bulls that year if we Worthy got hurt. Worthy got hurt, and
who hasn't
I
even
think
made an
Magic-
appearance yet
Right.
in the show because
Yeah.
he wasn't drafted yet.
But no,
Yeah.
and which is 84
Yeah. So there's
or 83, I
still
think.
time.
83,
lot.
yeah.
There's
It's a
still
lot going
time.
on.
There's so
Oh,
much
yeah.
history.
It's-
So plenty
it's
to
a lot.
cover. Plenty of
It's a
work
lot.
for you, hopefully.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, slow down a little bit. We don't got to rush all the way to
I'm
Kobe.
This is like
saying,
10
dude,
seasons.
yeah,
Right?
should
They'll
be.
be good for
Should
Kobe
be.
too. Just touching on the potential of eventually, because much like these rock biopics, the Queen story, Bohemian Rhapsody. Once those are successful, you get Rocket Man, you get all these others that are good. They're great. So there'll be more of these coming out when they do, and they will tackle the Kobe Shaq. What we've said here is just like,
Gonna be tough.
who plays Kobe, and if
I would love to.
would you take that on?
I would.
You would do that?
Oh, that is a pressure.
It
Wow.
is, but
Be proud to do it.
What-
I do it.
That is
I
sweet.
do it.
I mean, it's so touchy, man, because
That is sweet.
you know that they're gonna have to touch on.
Oh, they got to.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Oh, we
And-
gotta do
and-
Colorado.
And how you gonna, how you gonna have, who's gonna play Vanessa? You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
sit down and play back that scene.
Who's gonna play the chick?
I don't.
Okay.
Somebody's gonna play.
And how those families not going to be affected by that?
It's just
That whole thing.
That
It's
one's
like
dicey.
it's kind of like,
it's deserving.
but if Kobe was alive though, that's what I'm thinking they could do it because Kobe can be like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to take it on the chin for a couple of years, but
Kobe
back,
would,
you know what I'm
Kobe
saying?
would have probably done it himself.
No.
He would have been in charge of the production. And then that way,
Winning
Kobe was
Time?
in the,
No.
he made an appearance in Winning Time. Did you see that? And he was in the
Oh, yeah.
stands.
They brought him in the Magic's first
Super
game.
cool scene. Yeah.
The baby.
Yeah.
That show. It's like, that might be again bringing it full circle.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
One more thing.
Yeah.
There are, that is kind of strange, isn't it? That Magic's first game in San Diego having to be against the Clippers, Jelly Bean. Joe Bryant was there, Kobe was there. Just it is a little strange,
kind of crazy, right?
That two of the greats were
in the same spot
and
didn't even know what they had no idea what this y'all proximity later what it's going to mean for this franchise.
Right.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
All right, so before we go any further, I'd love to regress a little bit, Anthony. Tell us a little bit more about how you ended up even getting a chance and playing or getting your game to a chance where you could try out, even though you were injured, for Winning Time. Let's go back and start out. So you said you were born and raised in Ohio.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that playing. You're playing. Career and coming to LA.
College ball,
For sure. So I'm from Toledo, Ohio. It's like right on the border. That's all I always tell people. Like if you leave out of my driveway, take us 5 minutes to get to Michigan. So right there on the border, 45 minutes from Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah. So born and raised there. I ended up going to school at Bowling Green, which is about 35 minutes south of Toledo. Played there for 4 years. Played there. Then eventually had the chance to go play professionally in Canada. So I played up there, and then it was kind of like that was kind of the introduction to LA. So it was my Canada season was over with. It was like, okay, what do I do now? I need to go train and kind of figure this out. So do I go back to Ohio? What do I do? I made a decision with me and my brother who's sitting in there. We made a decision to come out here, kind of figure it out. He came out here for school, and I came out here to train and kind of like maybe, just train and go back to Canada. That was kind of the thing I was going to do.
Give
and
it
then,
a chance, see what it's like.
And then I ended up getting a job here in analytics, for the NBA.
Wow.
Yeah, started doing that for 4 years. Started doing that pretty much. The name of the company was called Second Spectrum.
Okay.
So just diving all the crazy stats that you see on ESPN, like LeBron James is on. I don't mean to mention.
No, go ahead.
LeBron James
is from Ohio.
He's 45% with his left hand. Just different, the stats that you see on ESPN. Like that was Second Spectrum. That was us.
He's 4 and 10 in the final
stuff. I mean, that's easy stats though. It's like a little bit more in depth than that. But
all right, cool.
yes, there's stuff like that.
Mike likes the low hanging fruit when it comes to LeBron. I'm not a hater.
I ain't hating. I want to hear your story though. Go ahead.
So that kind of what kind of got me out here. Kind of got me to kind of be in position to kind of be okay out here. And then that's kind of where it was like, I'm in Los Angeles, and to take advantage of, the opportunities that I have.
Was that your first time even visiting LA? Was that trip, or had you been here before?
That was my first time ever. I've never been to LA till I was 25, 24 years old. Yeah. That was the first time out here ever. So that was pretty much the intro, and kind of never looked back.
Change your life, man.
It really did.
That's what LA would do, man.
Because I always believed in myself. I always believed in my work ethic. I feel like I can, be okay anywhere, with my work ethic. So that's kind of how it happened. And then it was like being out here and the opportunities. It sounds kind of cliche when people always say like LA has so many opportunities, but it's really true. It's really true. As long as you put yourself out there and you're willing to work for what you want, I feel like you can make it. You can make it wherever. So that was kind of how it happened. And then, eventually just kind of started diving into acting and different things. And that's what kind of led to Winning Time.
Now you play ball in pickup ball runs and such. You play a lot at Venice, right? We hang out at Venice, of course. You're in the production there. So you play for Venice ball. So you're hanging out. You're in the know. Would you consider yourself a street baller?
Street baller? That's tough. I would consider myself just a hooper. I guess I would label I'm in that category now. I would say I'm a street baller, but I'm not the guy that's gonna be out there. When I think of street ball, I kind of think of a guy that's gonna be doing a bunch of crossovers, a whole bunch of. That's not my game. Bro. I'm a shooter. Like I shoot the ball and I dunk, I jump. So that's kind of my thing. So it may be a lane for that, coming in if you want to consider that a street baller. But I kind of label myself as a hooper.
All right, so you just play where the talent is and where you can get a good run.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play wherever the game is at. I'll play. I love basketball.
I mean, that's interesting. One of our friends of our show is White Chocolate.
Okay.
And he's hilarious, but he literally did the whole breakdown for us. About about the runs and his attorneys and all that stuff. But then he also categorized like the type of players the same way. So like you said that you're a hooper versus street baller makes sense to me because he definitely is a street baller. Like, do you talk a whole lot of crap?
No, I don't. I don't. That's not really my game. I never was that guy. Like as a kid, shout out to one of my first coaches, Eddie Noros. But on my trophy in 4th, 5th grade, I was called the Quiet Storm. That was my name.
Okay.
Because I was known
to kind of a good street baller name.
I was known to be a guy that just score.
Yeah, I know.
Score and not talk. I'll just go right down the court, and that was my name.
Mouthpiece. Hey, Mouthpiece. My name is Quiet Storm.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I regress. Remind me.
But what's cool about when you go out there and you play with those street ballers, like you come from like this background that has a bunch of fundamentals. So a lot of that stuff they're doing with the flash, like you're just trying to get to point A to point B efficiently. You know what I'm saying? Like, and some of these guys are going out there, they're trying to just do the flash. You're like, I'm just trying to get the ball. I'm just trying to get the ball. However I gotta do it, I'm gonna get it. These points gonna count the same. Style points out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's I know when you have a person that's have a college background and they come in there with fundamentals, it messes a lot of dudes up out there because they don't see anybody be able to just go out there and just be efficient with their shots like that,
my man be at the 3-point line, like I'm gonna let him do all that stuff. He gonna look past me in about 5 minutes. Right. He gonna be there for the shot.
For sure. That's the beauty of basketball, though. It's like it's not one way to play.
Right.
There's White Chocolates. There's me. There's some big men out there, like it's Hezzy guys and all these different guys that
1 foot guys.
1 foot guys. Shout out to Jordan Sutherland. Yeah, that's just a bunch of different guys out here that play the best way that they can play, and there's room for everybody.
That's true. Everybody. It's true. All different styles, all different skills.
Right.
And you know what? You're right. You're a hooper, street baller. Street ballers are hoopers. It's just where you play, right?
For sure.
It's where you play. It's where you play.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
I agree.
So that's all good. All right. So where does Anthony see himself going? Obviously you're looking to do some more acting. You said yourself that if you were given the chance, you would take on the Kobe role. I mean, wow. So in Winning Time, you were hired for your skills. Something like that. You're hired for your acting talent and so forth. So that's something you're really looking forward to doing. Then.
Yeah, for sure. Like I always tell people, when I came out to Ohio, came out to California from Ohio, acting was never really my dream. It wasn't nothing I really kind of wanted to pursue. But now that I'm here, it's like, why not take advantage of it? I'm in the door. So
and you've been on set.
Been on set. I've met these people. I've created these connections. So it's like, why not stop? Why stop here? Keep going. Go take acting classes. Go talk to different actors about their journeys, and just go all the way. You only live once. So why not? Why not?
I love it. Take advantage of the opportunities that are given, and take it as far as you can go. Take your skills as far as you can go. How often are you out there? Like we said, Venice and so forth. How often are you in pickup games these days?
I don't go to Venice too much unless just the VBL, which is the Venice Ball League, which they have once a year. That's out there every week then. But as of now, I'll probably go out there maybe once a month, get out there. Because it's always, I love Venice. It's that rough ball that you kind of need. You kind of need it. I mean, you don't need it too much because it's concrete and people out there playing in jeans is ready to foul you. But like, you definitely need it sometimes. Though.
Yeah, toughens you up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. It kind of change your mindset a little bit. So those days when you're not selling for threes, you're going there, with get the file, you know. So Venice is definitely a time and place for going to play in Venice for sure. Especially when I got people that's coming from out of town, and everybody got to go to Venice at least once. So that's what I tell everybody. Always we go to Roscoe's, then we go to Venice. So that's kind of the two things I always take my people.
Yeah, let's eat these waffles and chicken and they go ball.
They go ball, you know.
Man, look, that's a young people game. Man. We gotta do either or today.
Either or.
Today, either we gonna go ball. Or we're gonna have some waffles.
One or the other. Eventually get to that point.
That's funny.
Yeah, we ain't at that bad. Am I lying?
Bro, no.
Back in the day,
either or.
Yeah, man, yeah. We doing either or. Because it's a wrap. If I had chicken waffles today, it don't matter.
Oh,
back in
Nah,
the day, though, back in the day, you eat, man. My grandmother, was from Louisiana. We eat some soul food.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You sit on the porch for 30 minutes. You
Dude,
tag.
that's fuel.
You know what I'm saying?
That was fuel.
Right.
Yeah, we ain't doing that now.
Needed that at that point.
Our body's like, yo, you made a decision.
Sit
and I'm
down.
gonna take you to that.
Yeah, you pay for that. Nothing feels quite like
down.
it used to.
Yeah.
We always end our show here, the Profanity Nation podcast, with a fun segment that we call Money Mike's Out of Bounds.
Okay.
So Money Mike here, he's going to go ahead and share his thoughts or opinions on a topic, and he just wants to know from all of us and anyone that happens to be on Clubhouse or the comment section, is he in bounds or out of bounds? Money Mike?
And this is a real fun one.
Okay.
It's in honor of our guy, Mr. Henderson, that came. So you guys saw that they announced who's going the MVP of the Eastern and the Western Conference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's gonna be Magic and Bird. I love that, first of all, that they picked Magic and Bird. And I also think, no shade, that Jordan ain't on nobody's award, no shade. But I'm just saying.
No shade.
But I saw Bird was talking about, he was throwing shade to Magic about maybe he can win a trophy now. And Magic didn't respond, right? So am I out of bounds for saying that Magic ain't tripping because he done beat Bird so much he don't care?
Yes.
And Bird really want, whoever come out the East to beat that Western Conference.
Because it's the Magic trophy.
Right. So am I out of bounds for saying that Magic ain't tripping and Bird really still wants to beat Magic any way he can?
Yeah, I think you're inbound. I think, but Bird always going to want to try to beat Magic and everything.
Sure.
Right? At this point, why stop now? Let's keep it going. You know what I'm saying?
It's
so,
worked this long.
I mean, he was remember when he was coaching the Indiana Pacers?
Yeah.
Like you still felt like, oh man.
Oh, you couldn't make a trade. Like he wouldn't make a trade with the Lakers.
No.
He would not trade.
Really?
Oh yeah, no. And that's the same thing when Danny Ainge.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we didn't get KG, because they wouldn't make.
Wow.
Or no,
McHale. It was McHale.
McHale was in Minnesota. He would not.
McHale wouldn't trade with the Lakers.
That shit goes
So he
deep.
traded with Ainge.
Yeah, that's Celtics, and they got KG. That's why.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And that's how cold, because Ainge and McHale played for the Celtics,
Yeah.
and they put together the super team by trading the players off their team.
So it was like 2 against 1, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Against the Lakers. And
Lakers.
but it was a good thing they did that, because if you would have had KG and Kobe Bryant on the same team.
Oh, look out. Look
Yeah.
out. Look out. Look out.
Oh, that's
Okay. Let's go with our guest here. Money Mike's inbounds or out of bounds on that thought?
I say inbounds as well.
All right, cool.
I kind of agree. Yeah, I think Bird is just a super competitive guy. Super competitive. That's something I've learned not only from Winning Time, but from doing my reaction videos on YouTube. I do a lot of Larry Bird, kind of reacting to his old games, not just Larry Bird, but Lakers stuff. But yeah, just seeing how competitive he is. So definitely inbounds with that one.
Yeah, I think you got 100%, Money Mike. I think you're definitely inbounds. You're definitely inbounds, but I think it's fun. And I think he understands the marketing and he understands the benefit of that. And as much as a rapper might call out another rapper for the marketing, they understand it. So and you know what else? I think Bird is also disgusted at the players that are all friends. And I think he would also agree with you. So he likes that competitive nature. So yeah, I think you're 100% there, my friend.
Yeah, I just think Magic won so many times that
He's like, he don't do it.
I think good with it.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, I did not. I don't know about you, Stat Pat, but I never admitted that Larry Bird was good until he was retired.
Yeah,
but then I loved it when Bird was on there and he was like, "The guy's amazing."
Lost the words.
Yeah, he was like, He's an amazing player. Like he was
had
just
to.
so
He had to give it up. Dude.
exhausted because he was like he got you.
It was weird having to like root for Larry Bird on the Dream Team. But when he was shooting the ball, I was actually happy for him.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, oh,
Hey,
Larry Bird. He was a little hurt, but I was like, hey, Larry Bird
We
shooting the
fighting
ball.
for America. We fighting for America.
I was
That
like, what
Lakers
in the world?
Celtics was serious, wasn't it?
Oh, dude, you don't understand.
Still
bro.
to this
You
day,
don't
when I go to
understand.
games, if I see people in Celtics or I go to the Celtic games, it angers me when they're cheering for them. Oh yeah, I get mad.
But see, we don't have to look that far though. We had the Kobe KG finals. So if anybody, we as like, adults, we were young when they were doing it in the 80s. But then after when Kobe again, we were able to be like, okay, full adults and seeing like, okay, this is what it was all
That's
about.
true.
We felt it. Like this is what happened.
But if you really want to understand, and sat back, help me remember that documentary. It's
Bird versus Magic.
They did a series. Like it was
Magic versus Bird.
Magic versus
Bird. 3-part thing. No, it was Celtics, Lakers.
Oh, Lakers versus Celtics.
And it was Ice Cube that was doing the West Coast narration, and it was who was that guy? Now I want to say Mark Wahlberg, but not him. But anyway, basically, look at it like this.
I think it was his brother.
Yeah, it was one of them. But literally, they start in the 60s when the Celtics was just whooping our
and by the way,
Jerry West, right?
Right.
It was ugly.
They were just whooping our ass and talking shit while they was doing it, right? And then like Ice Cube didn't even really come on until the second. It was like 3 episodes. It was like 3 episodes. Ice Cube didn't have nothing really to say until
Not
the second episode, right? You know what I mean? So, but you really, because I called Pat, and I said, "Dog, I'm so pissed right now."
Yeah,
because they were just gloating, and you just felt it, like Cedric Maxwell. You know what I mean? And and look, if you really, really want to see it now, though, watch a Lakers Celtic game and then watch James Worthy.
Okay,
right? Because James Worthy, that dude pulled out a cigar, and was talking about with Cedric Maxwell, like what they doing. Like, look, if their mentality, the old school, the Showtime era, which what you was on, their mentality was literally like
Buck Foster.
We don't care how sorry we are. We gotta beat them though.
We'll finish on this. I'll do a little bragging. We will get to that too. I was lucky enough as a Lakers season ticket holder to be in the building for many iconic games and Kobe situations because my tickets were during the Kobe era. And I was blessed enough to be in the house for Game 7 against Boston. So that was absolutely amazing. While that game was full of tension and pressure, the release after from the crowd when they finally won it. I mean, I've been in that building for many high pressure games, but nothing like that Game 7 because every point was like pulling freaking teeth. Yeah, everyone was tight. Kobe was tight. Everyone was tight. And you could cut the tension with inside Staples at the time because it was. I mean, Lakers fans. I don't know what they would have done if they had to walk out of that building while the Celtics were celebrating on the Laker court. I do not know what they would have done.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, you was at Staples. Me and Pat was in Long Beach at Bubblegums.
Oh, nice.
And we were cursing out everybody.
Everyone got some.
Except for Meta when he hit that 3.
Right. And when we won, me and Stat Pat had a full body hug for about 3 minutes. Am I lying? Tell me if I'm lying.
Dog, it was a
full body.
Straight up.
Like basketball brings together.
Hey, we did it. Like we did it.
We did
it.
We did it.
Yeah. The whole crowd felt like that too. Like we made it through this.
My God, dude.
It's real.
Man,
and it's palatable.
Man, I mean, dude,
it's real.
I'm yelling. Everyone's just letting it all out. Like all the stress and the tension.
Oh my God.
Okay, so we're running over. Before we go, Money Mike's got something for you, please.
So anytime we have a guest come on the show, we always like to, grace some gifts and things like that. So I got you a special gift. I'm not sure if you're a Dodger fan.
He's a LA fan.
Okay, you LA all the way. So what I'm giving you are one of our exclusive Profanity Nation shirts.
Oh,
and what's special about this shirt is in 1998 and 2020. I'm sorry. 1988, which is the Showtime year,
Okay.
or years, and 2020 was this was when the Dodgers and the Lakers
Both won.
both won the championship.
Oh man, I appreciate
So
that.
I'm gonna give you
appreciate that.
exclusive Profane Nation shirt that commemorates
Thank
that
you,
moment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is dope right here. This is
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate you. Before we go here, we'd like you to have a chance. Please tell all our listeners and our followers the best way that they keep up to date with what you got going on. You've got YouTube channels and Instagram. Please be sure to let them know.
Yep. So which camera that?
This one right here.
Yeah. So my YouTube channel is HenDawgz right here. HEN. This is the first 3 letters of my last name, and then Dawgz, DAWGZ. That's my YouTube, and then my Instagram is @Henderson too. TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, they're all @Henderson too. I try to keep everything the same to make it easy for everybody. But yep, that's me.
That's awesome. And he does keep active. Get on the Winning Time group because he's on there.
For sure.
Post pictures, keeps everyone up to date. We just couldn't be happier to have you here. We hope you had a good time. We hope we can invite you back here someday soon. And thank you so much, Step Pat, Money Mike.
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right.
Appreciate
On behalf
man.
of Fatty Nation Podcast, thank you so much. You guys know where to find the audio. It's coming out on Tuesday everywhere that you hear podcasts. That's Spotify, that's iHeart, you name it. Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts. This video will be on YouTube and Facebook. So go ahead and watch it, check it out, and share it with your friends. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week with another great guest, and then back the next week with another great guest, and back the next week because you know that's how we do it. So thank you very much, Profanity Nation Podcast. We'll see you.
Peace.
Peace.